Joe Pugh for Pep Talk Boys, joined here today at the Rainham Boxing Club at the Origin Gym by 2-0 super featherweight Alfie Best. How are you, Alfie?
Very good, thank you very much. Yourself?
Fantastic. Been here today. See yourself doing a bit of S&C. Johnny Fisher, Johnny Hedges here earlier. Always great to speak to Mark and Jimmy Tibbs. I know you've not been here training here long, but what's it like to be with Jimmy and Mark?
Oh, it's a privilege. I'm that happy to be here. Like, the two combined experiences is going to give me every chance I need to get to where I want to go.
Fantastic. And obviously you've got big profile boxers here in Johnny Fisher, John Hedges, Tommy Fletcher. He hasn't even made his pro debut yet, but he's known in the boxing scene. What's that like to be around?
Well, it's brilliant. It's brilliant to push me forward, to have people to train with, etc. Not that I train with them every day, but sometimes we do bits and pieces together. But it's great, you know, to be working along with boxers. You know, we're all pushing each other forward. Like, it's a brilliant place to be. You know, be surrounded by people that want to do well with boxing. It's like myself, I want to do very well. I can't sit here and say I'm going to go here, I'm going to go there, I'm going to go everywhere. I've got to let my actions speak louder than my words, and I'm just going to let my journey show everybody that what can be done. Everyone tell me, you know, it's hard to get out of bed in your silk pyjamas, but as it stands at the minute, I'm slowly proving everybody wrong.
I love that aspect of it. Obviously, you've got a profile outside of boxing, but obviously we're going to talk about boxing itself. You haven't used that. You haven't used your profile to benefit you in boxing in any way, which I think is fantastic. You've boxed on the smaller shows, and then you're going to build yourself up in a traditional way.
Absolutely, I want my journey to take me. Like, I want my boxing skills to take me where I believe that I can go. Like, I want to be obviously the best. I believe myself that I want to be a world champion. You know, and like, you know, I don't believe it's the right thing to do. Let other ways, like, you know, I'd let it help me if it could, but I don't want it to put me where I shouldn't be at the wrong time. So your main focus is boxing, and that's obviously a massive aspect of even the Rainham Boxing Club. The Tibbs it's boxing through and through, and as you say, you can use other stuff to help you, but boxing is what you're here for, and you ain't cutting any corners. No, absolutely not. Listen, in this job you definitely cannot cut any corners, and if you do cut corners, it shows on fight night.
And what would you say your style is like for anyone who hasn't seen you, Alfie?
I'd like to think that I can adapt, but you know, super featherweight, listen, of course you see knockouts. I wouldn't say I'm a massive puncher. I'm a brilliant boxer, let's say, or I like to think I can adapt. Like, my job is to do whatever Mark and Jimmy tell me to do, and I try and do it to the best of my ability.
That's great. That's a good student there already, Alfie. But have you always boxed as an amateur, or you're young?
My whole life I had 16 or 17 fights as an amateur.
Okay, and obviously, did you have a break, or you've gone all the way through?
I stopped from when I was 15, and then I turned pro again when I was 19, and then I stopped, and then which I turned over in 2017. I had my first professional fight. Then I stopped. Then COVID come along, you know, and it's all been a bit upside down. But now my head's in it, and I won't be stopping, not until I retire.
And promotionally wise, who would you like to go with in an ideal world?
Well, of course, I'd like to go with the biggest and the best, but I believe that at the moment I've got to prove myself. You know, and I'm more than happy to do that, wherever that means. If I've got to fight in someone's backyard, I'm not bothered, you know what I mean? I'll fight anywhere.
Going into 2022, is activity key for you?
Absolutely, I think that's key for any boxer, especially, like, I'm not just starting out, obviously, but I'm very early in my career, however you want to look at it. But of course, activity, I think, is a massive thing for any boxer, especially where I'm at the moment in my career. And like, I boxed in October this year, so I was out maybe just over 6 weeks ago. I was then supposed to box in November, but I didn't. So, and then I come here, so it all worked out for the best anyway. And I'd like to get out as early as I can. I wouldn't say I'm not ready. I'm not exactly on weight at the moment, but that won't take long to shed a few pounds. As fitness-wise, of course, I'm not at my peak at the moment, but, you know, give me a 6-week camp and I'll be where I need to be.
Is your plan to enjoy Christmas as you would, and then in January, blast it out for the new year?
Nah, but to be quite honest with you, I'm an all or nothing person, you know, and the minute I take my eye off the ball, that's never a good thing. So I'd like to keep my foot in the door and just keep ticking over so I'm not starting from the bottom when I do come back in January. So I'm just trying to get in as many times a week as I possibly can, you know, do a little bit on the road. I don't want to peak again in the off season because I've got nothing to aim towards at the moment. But so over the Christmas, of course I'm going to try and enjoy the Christmas the best I can, but I'm still going to get out, do a little bit of training and keep myself in relatively good shape, so then when January does come, I'm ready to go straight into camp. And then I'm not training to get fit, I'm training to improve on my boxing skills, which I'd imagine most boxers out there need to do. Because listen, I could go into camp and I'm training to get fit, and then 3 weeks towards the end of your camp when you're supposed to be, like, instead of having 6 weeks of training to progress and become a better boxer, you're then training to get fit, which I don't think will help me. I need to be fit and then work on my skills.
Learning about boxing rather than making weight for the whole camp is always a great way moving forward. But British boxing is a massive high at the minute, I'm sure you'll agree. What names out there do you like the look of? It can be any weight, and what styles do you like?
In England?
Yes. Worldwide, so completely up to you.
Well, to be quite honest with you, I was very impressed with George Kambosos the other night. I writ him off, to be fair, and I watched his fight against Lee Selby, and to be quite honest with you, I didn't see from that performance what he beat Lee Selby. I didn't think that he was going to get in there and beat Lopez, because I also watched that fight against Lopez and Lomachenko, and I was a little bit disappointed in Teofimo Lopez's performance, to be honest. I was expecting so much more. You know, I actually ripped George Kambosos off, but then I was so impressed with what George Kambosos done, because in my eyes he won very clearly. I don't know which,
I agree,
etc., but he definitely won very clearly. And Usyk, again, at the beginning of the year, I was very impressed when he beat Anthony Joshua. I couldn't really see it happening, but when he did, again, I give him the win. I was at the fight. And the fight I did enjoy, which was great, was Liam Smith and Anthony Fowler. That was a brilliant
Fantastic fight in Liverpool.
It was a brilliant fight.
And from the two fighters you've just told me there, it seems to me that you love an underdog story, and you wrote Kambosos off as most people in boxing did. Do you think that could be a case for you, people writing you off and you proving people wrong going forward in your career?
Well, I think before I'm fighting a losing battle as such, so I think people want to write me off before I even start anyway. It's the easiest thing to do is say no, he's never going to make it, etc. And it's not that I'm doing it to prove people wrong, I'm doing it for myself, and I'll be proving people wrong while I'm doing it. You know, I'm in brilliant hands here. I couldn't be in any better place. You know, if I don't make it here, I wasn't going to make it anywhere. So,
fantastic, Alfie Best. Thank you very much for speaking to me today. Is there anything else you'd like to mention?
No, that's it. Thank you very much for the interview, and I'll see you around. I'll see you on the circuit.
Definitely. Thank you very much, and have a happy Christmas and a good New Year.
You too. Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.